Pay attention, everyone. Class is now in session.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to Crossing Kin. I'm Kristen.
I'm Randy.
And today we are taking a look at some school films. It's August. School will be starting back for many a child and college student soon, and we want to give you some films that might ease the pain of coming back into the new school year.
We hope your school classrooms have air conditioning. As you can see, it's still too hot in the Crossing Kin garage for us to be out there sweating. Yeah. Welcome to Arkansas, August in Arkansas, or as we like to refer it, the oven.
We will probably be indoors at least through September, if not October.
In case you haven't noticed, we're back in the Crossing Kin living room as opposed to the Crossing Kin garage. We will eventually make it back out to the garage.
We promise.
But you don't get to see as much of our music, our cool signs, or, you
We're
just
sorry.
get to see the Glenda Turley picture in the background.
And the Razorback.
And the Razorback. Oh, yeah, by the way, less than 30 days till Hog football.
Go Hogs! We're excited. We're very excited. All right. So as always, this is a top 10 and with 5 honorable mentions. These are movies that primarily take place at school or around or are centered around a school function.
And look, we're probably going to miss some of your favorites.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments
Yes,
where you might possibly place some of the things that we've done, or films that we've just either forgotten or perhaps we haven't seen.
We've not seen most of the John Hughes movies, so a good portion of the Brat Pack's films. Right. So if we're missing them, let us know how wonderful they are in the comments down below. All right?
And where you'd place them on your list.
All right, so let's kick it off with our honorable mentions. Firstly, High School Musical, released on Disney Channel way back in the 2000s. We don't have dates on these films, and I apologize. It's what gave a lot of now very famous people their start. Zac Efron, Corbin Bleu, Vanessa Hudgens, Ashley Tisdale, and Lucas Grabeel all have great both music and film/television careers, and High School Musical is what got them all really good started.
Yeah, if you look at their filmography or their discography prior to High School Musical, you'll see they'll have some roles, but afterwards it is significantly quicker, at least in between, the time frame in between their projects.
The whole film centers around what else?
High School.
High School Musical.
Yep.
As well as a basketball tournament and like a scholastic decathlon or something.
Yep.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen that first movie. Probably need to do a little rewatch just for the nostalgia feel.
It's the movie that proves you can be a jock and still be a musician.
Yes.
Hey, if you have the choice to do both, do
both.
Do both.
Always do both. Secondly, Young Sherlock Holmes. I didn't discover this movie until a few years ago. It is Sherlock at a boarding school, meeting John Watson, solving a mystery. I don't even remember who the bad guy was, but it is so cute. You can tell that the actor that's playing Young Sherlock Holmes is doing his best Basil Rathbone. Like, it's so clear which Sherlock he's taking inspiration from, because this is before Robert Downey Jr., this is before Benedict Cumberbatch, this is before Johnny Lee Miller. This movie was from the 90s, I believe. Either 90s or late 80s.
Before Sherlock Holmes became a very popular character again.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think he's either doing his best Basil Rathbone or Christopher Lee. Didn't Christopher Lee play Sherlock Holmes at one point?
Once, I think, yes.
So, yes, it's completely charming. If you can find it and watch it, because I remember just adoring this film. Next up, we have Dead Poets Society, Robin Williams classic. It's very sad. The reason it is in our honorable mentions is because we don't typically like movies that make us cry. And this movie makes me cry all the way through.
It's a heavy drama.
Heavy drama. And again, I'm used to Robin Williams as the genie. So seeing him in such a heavy movie was a bit of jet lag. Yes, but it ends with a very iconic scene of "Oh Captain, My Captain," with all the boys standing on the desk and him saying goodbye. So it's a lovely film. Do not get me wrong. We don't bend towards the sad.
Carpe diem.
All right, next up we have Matilda. It's from the 90s. It was, I didn't know this until recently, it was actually directed by Danny DeVito.
Awesome.
He both starred in and directed the film. And actually, Mara Wilson's mother was dying from cancer, so he and his wife, Rhea Perlman, took care of Mara, who was playing Matilda. They took care of her during the filming, and he made sure that the film was completely edited and her mom got to see it before she passed away like 3 weeks later.
Awesome.
So
Props,
Danny
Mr.
DeVito,
DeVito.
you were amazing
Ms.
for
Perlman,
everything you
too.
did
Yep.
on Matilda. Matilda also recently got a Netflix release of its West End musical, and I believe it is very good. Emma Thompson plays Miss Trunchbull, and it is, watch it for nothing else than Emma Thompson playing Miss Trunchbull. That is all I have to say. And lastly, Teachers, which you told me stars Ralph Macchio, yeah?
Ralph Macchio is in it. Nick Nolte is in it. Jo Beth Williams is in it. Judd Hirsch is in it.
Oh, wow.
It's an 80s compendium of people you know now. An exquisite film set in a high school that is needing help. And it's the story of the teachers' struggle, really, to instruct students at this high school and the relationships that go on therein. I will warn you, it is definitely a PG-13, if not an R-rated film, just for brief scenes of nudity, language, etc. Don't watch it with your kids. It is one of those 80s films that shows you what 80s films are all about.
It's what shows you why PG-13 was created.
Exactly. That's a valid point. Ralph Macchio is not the Karate Kid in this film, nor is he grown up like you see him in Cobra Kai. But he is good in the role. Nick Nolte is, I think he's the star of the show just because most of the storylines follow along with his story and his interactions in the school.
And you can't go wrong with Judd Hirsch.
The big takeaway is Madden. I can't remember his first name.
Okay. It's fine.
Who plays an asylum escapee who wanders onto the campus and teaches their history class.
Oh, no.
Successfully engaging this struggling school students in a level of history that you've never seen before.
Oh,
I think other than Nick Nolte, he steals the scenes, all the scenes that he's in. And he plays an asylum escapee who wanders onto the campus and begins teaching history.
That's fantastic.
It's a statement of the teachers of that day.
All right. And now, on with the countdown.
And
number 10.
At number 10, we have coming in at number 10, the classic Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Also another one of these 80s films that we need to warn you about. It is a classic. It features a stoner, it features a beauty queen, features great teachers, and it is just one of those classic films that as an adult you probably should watch for nothing else other than the reminiscence sake, and it's just a good film. It comes in at number 10 for a reason, partly because language and other adult situations.
We are a family channel, so. All right, coming in at number 9, we have the Harry Potter series. Everything in this series takes place at Hogwarts, so it counts. They count as school movies because they barely leave that school.
We had an animated conversation about this particular series coming into the countdown today. Leave it to say, Kristen
I won.
Got her way with this. Anyway, I love the films. Please don't get me wrong. And they are set at a school. However, with the Wizarding World being the overriding thing, I just had to state my case. Moving on.
Anyway, Harry Potter, everybody pretty much, even if you've not seen the movies or read the books, you know what Harry Potter is. Daniel Radcliffe, you did a beautiful job as Harry, and all of your supporting cast. Dude, you got some of the best adult British actors as your teachers. You got Dame Maggie Smith. You got the late, great Alan Rickman. For a time, you had Richard Harris as your Dumbledore, who was then replaced by Michael Gambon. You had Gary Oldman. Gary Stinkin' Oldman as your godfather. Like, you had some of the best mentors ever at this school.
Hagrid,
yes. Oh, his actor, Robbie
Coltrane. The late great Robbie Coltrane as well.
Oh, loved him. He was the best of teddy bears.
And he was a good Bond villain. Pseudo-villain.
He never quite became full villain.
Right.
But yes, we love and miss you very much, Mr. Coltrane. But yeah, all of it takes place as a school. But yes, there's more magic than schoolwork happening at this particular school. But I love the Harry Potter series. Tune in about a month. In a month. Next month, we're going to do something that's a little bit more Harry Potter-esque. Daddy is a little nervous about it, so give him some encouragement in the comments for our foray into some Harry Potter stuff in a month.
And now on with the countdown of actual school movies.
Okay.
We have next, coming in at number 8, the fantasy school movie, Sky High.
The superhero school movie, Sky High. This was a Disney movie that did release in theaters because we went to go see it. It also has a phenomenal cast.
Incredible cast.
Kurt Russell,
who has a lifelong tie
to
with Disney. If you have Disney Plus,
type in Kurt Russell in the search bar.
Some of those films are ridiculous. Some of them he's a baby in, not literal baby, but younger person.
So much younger, it's hard to look.
But his tie-in, and now Disney, and then into Marvel with Guardians 2, there's just an incredible cast.
Also, it stars Kelly Preston, who died last year, I believe.
Yes.
Help me, what is Wonder Woman's real name?
Linda Carter.
Thank you. She plays the principal of this school.
The original Wonder Woman.
The original Wonder Woman, thank you. The gentleman who is in every single Sam Raimi movie, is the coach in this. I'm sorry, the actor's name escapes me. As well as a crop of up-and-coming stars. Danielle Panabaker, who went on to be in The Flash for 9 years, is one of the main characters in this, as well as Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is about to be live-action Hera Syndulla in the Ahsoka film. So
awesome.
The Ahsoka series, rather. So the cast of this movie alone is phenomenal. But it also has a great story. It does have a more high school feel.
It does.
Even with all the superpowers and stuff happening, it has such a high school feel. You've got the bullies, you've got the jocks, you've got the nerdy kids.
And they're all superheroes.
And all of the superpowers are really inventive.
Sure.
There's this one kid that melts, there's this girl that turns into a guinea pig, one girl controls plants, there's the usual fire, ice, stretchy power, speed. One kid glows like a lightning bug. It's precious. And it's one of these movies that it's underrated. It's a silly movie. Don't get me wrong. This is not like some grand, epic Marvel masterpiece. No. This is a silly Disney movie, but it is such a good, silly Disney movie.
And it's one that you could watch with your kids.
Yes, it's a great family film, but it's not such a it's not a DCOM. That's a good way to phrase it. It is not a Disney Channel original movie. It is a few rungs above DCOM and several rungs down from Marvel. But it is so good.
We enjoyed it as a family when the girls were younger, and we watched it. So that's number 8, Sky High.
All right, coming in at number 7, we have Legally Blonde.
Another one that caused an animated conversation.
Set at Harvard. We see all of her law classes. It's also partially set at UCLA.
Justification. Keep going.
College. This is a college film starring Reese Witherspoon and Luke Wilson. And it, of course, everybody knows this movie, but if you don't, it's about this beautiful, bubbly LA blonde girl who gets broken up with by her boyfriend because she's not serious. And in order to prove how serious she is, she makes the decision to get into Harvard Law School and follow him out there.
And gets in.
That's the thing. She's not a dumb blonde. She's actually a really smart blonde. She just owns her fashion and her girly personality.
She's such a positive
Such a
person,
good role
and
model.
it's a good film.
Elle Woods is amazing. Elle Woods is an amazing character. She deserved her film. She deserved the musical that is based on Legally Blonde. Laura Bell Bundy, I believe, originated the Elle Woods in that. Fantastic Broadway cast also. If you can find it and watch it. So, yeah, that is number 7, Legally Blonde.
Coming in at number 6, after a brief recess, maybe a lunch break. Have you had your school pizza yet today? Number 6, SpiderMan Homecoming. One that also caused some conversation, not necessarily animated, but the Spider-Man films, I mean, they're set on Peter Parker when he's in high school. Let's face it. Most all of them.
Yeah.
And they're, especially Tom Holland's newer ones, are so creative in what they have done and how their use of home has been brought about. And that was number 6, Spider-Man Homecoming.
All right, coming in at number 5, we have the Peanuts movie. Now, we mentioned this briefly in our last countdown, our top 10 Christmas films, our Christmas in July thing, when we were talking about A Charlie Brown Christmas. This movie it's actually a school movie. Like, pretty much every important aspect of this movie takes place at this school.
And it borrows from A Charlie Brown Christmas in some of its scenes, certainly in its music, but it doesn't leave you at Christmas time.
No, we go with them through an entire school year.
At least a semester. Yeah.
Because I think they get out for summer break at the end of the film.
Right.
So, yeah, it's like we put on a school talent show. We go to a school dance. We take a semester test, or a standardized test rather.
We write a book report.
And it's also charming. You'd think all of that would be mundane.
And you have a teacher going, wah, 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 wah.
We love Miss Othmar. She is a fantastic teacher. But yeah, the whole thing is too charming for words. If you are a Charlie Brown fan at all, do not sleep on this film.
Big Sky, thank you.
Thank you.
You did a phenomenal job of paying homage to Charles Schultz and the Peanuts universe.
Yes.
Apple TV, stop it.
Yes.
Loosen the grip. Let us have our Charlie Brown back.
Yes. Please.
Enough said.
And thank you.
And thank you.
Number 4.
We'll be nice. Be kind. Coming in at number 4, we really, really do. Our top 5 really do set up well for high school and just school situations. Number 4. Great Scott! Back to the Future.
The movie that got us started on Let's Recast It.
Absolutely.
Starring Michael
J. Fox.
And Christopher Lloyd. This film is fantastic.
Let me give you perspective. Michael J. Fox is now in his 60s. Christopher Lloyd is now in his 80s.
But they're both still around.
But
Michael J. Fox is battling Parkinson's currently, and Christopher Lloyd, bless him, he's old.
And his wife Tracy Pollan of many years, who they met on Family Ties and began dating, and they've been married since.
Michael J. Fox?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And incredible, Ms. Pollan, thank you for your support of this actor that we very, very much love. Both actors have said that they're really just not interested. Christopher Lloyd said he might do another one. Michael J. Fox, not so much.
He's not in a position to do.
But the producers and directors are like, that's a perfect trilogy. Let's leave it there, and that's okay. But how it relates to school, Michael J. Fox is a high school student who is trying his best to make it in the world of high school, and he gets zapped back to high school in the 50s, which is a whole other different critter all to get it. My folks, when we were watching some of the Back to Future scenes on TV, they were like, been there, done that. So it was so reminiscent, especially the original film. It really takes much better place at the high school, in the school situations. Proms, things along those lines. Not necessarily classroom oriented.
The enchantment under the sea.
Exactly, absolutely. But it took place when the character Marty McFly was in his high school age. Of course, Michael J. Fox was in his 20s at the time, so he was playing a 16-year-old.
That's just standard Hollywood fare.
He had the Dick Clark vibe going on. And so, on with the countdown. Number 3.
All right, at number 3, the one John Hughes movie we have both seen, The Breakfast Club.
This can't be a surprise to anybody.
No. I mean, the whole film takes place in detention, and they spend the whole movie pretty much talking about how they got there and what led them there. It's a great ensemble cast. Highlight for me is Emilio Estevez, but that's because I know him from the Mighty Ducks film. Molly Ringwald is the princess of the group.
Ali Sheedy.
Ali Sheedy. Bless my heart, I cannot
Judd
Hurt. No, not Judd Hurst. Nelson?
Yes.
Judd Nelson, and then I can't remember the nerd's name. I'm sorry. But
he was in 16 Candles.
He was in a ton. All of these. This was pretty much the Brat Pack. This was the Brat Pack minus a couple.
Right.
Minus maybe what? Kiefer?
Demi Moore was a part of that group. You also had Rob Lowe as a part of that group. The crew that wound up being on St. Elmo's Fire, which was also set in a school situation.
I've not seen it. That's why that one isn't on the list.
And it just occurred to me. They were all college students at the time.
The Breakfast Club it's a drama. This is not one you should watch with your kids. It is rated R. This is an R-rated movie for language. It is rated R because they use bad language a lot.
It's a classic film, however.
It is a classic film.
It launched the career of Simple Minds.
Yeah.
With Don't You Forget About Me, with the title song.
It was supposed to be a Billy Idol song, but he turned it down. Billy, you missed a chance, buddy.
Yeah,
Breakfast Club, fantastic film. If you've not seen it, it should be available for streaming somewhere.
Right.
When I watched it, it was on Netflix. By now, it's probably been taken by the evil hand of HBO Max. But who knows?
At least it's not on Apple TV.
Rated it, Daddy. It's okay.
Okay.
They'll give us Charlie Brown back eventually. All right, but moving on.
If Breakfast Club is at number 3, what could be the top 2? School films. Remember now, I've got my school glasses on and everything, so number 1 I can see. But we also, how in the world could you top Breakfast Club? Just such an iconic film.
Maybe throw in some rock and roll.
We do it, perhaps, with Jack Black. School of Rock.
Yeah.
Phenomenal film. If you are a musician of any kind, you have got to love this film. In fact, you've got to love our top 2 films.
Joan Cusack is also in this film.
Joan Cusack is also in this. Just the chemistry of the kids who play the musicians, just the leadership that Jack Black provides, going from sluggard to teacher, is just it's a beautiful portrayal. And it's one of the films that broke Jack Black out. I've no doubt. I believe a musical was made off of it as well.
Yes,
and
starring the guy that originated Beetlejuice on Broadway as well. He played the Jack Black role. Did a great job. It's not as great as the film. I will always prefer the film over that particular musical, but the musical is great.
Remember, the cover is never as good as the original.
Check that off your Crossing Kin bingo cards. I think he's going to say it in every video from now on.
Okay. And now, if School of Rock and Breakfast Club are 3 and 2, what in the world could be number 1?
Ladies and gentlemen, at number 1, may we present Mr. Hollands' Opus.
I think it's the greatest school film ever.
Music teacher, right?
Absolutely. He's a Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws, from just everything. I mean, Richard Dreyfuss has been around. He was in Red with Bruce Willis.
And Helen Mirren.
And Helen Mirren plays a totally different character in Red than he does in Mr. Holland's Opus. Mr. Holland's Opus tells the story of a teacher straight out of college and his career as he goes through as a high school band director. And his goal is someday to write this magnum opus, and everything in his life distracts, take away from his time and his dreams. And it's a precious film. If you are a teacher, ascribe to be like Mr. Holland in this film. If you are a student, pray that you get a teacher like this in your life. he inputs into his students we won't give it away. It's just an incredible film that, as a musician of any kind, if you're a rock and roller, if you're a classical artist, if you're a singer, you need to see this film. This needs to be on your watch list. It is a drama. It has some heavy moments, but there's also some comic relief as you go through. I think it is Richard Dreyfuss's greatest work, personally. Far surpassing what he did in Jaws or Red or any of those other things. I think it's his greatest work, and I think this film is so underrated as a piece of just art for my generation anyway. It came out in the late 80s, early 90s, and make sure you have a box of your favorite facial tissue next to you when you watch this film, because it is absolutely powerful how he pulls off the power of music coupled with the intrinsic value that a teacher can have in students' lives. Mr. Hollands' Opus is our #1 high school setting film. Absolutely worth it. Go see the film. I'm not sure where it streams. Just do an IMDb search. We've mentioned IMDb before. Great resource. Check out where Mr. Hollands' Opus might be playing. Streaming, buy the DVD if you have a DVD player. Put it in your computer. Watch it. You need to watch this film.
All right, I think you've said all that needs to be said. That's it, guys. Our top 10 school movies. What did you think? Did we stretch the definition of school just a little too far, or did we hit right on the money? Stop pointing at me. Yeah.
Also, August in Arkansas means back to school. That's why we did this great school countdown. Hopefully you get to see this before you get back to your Institute of Education. We wish for you a phenomenal school year, whether it's at the collegiate level, the higher collegiate level, or the high school, or even elementary level. We want you to know we are your fans, and we want the best for you out of this coming school year.
Teachers, good luck. We wish you well, and we hope you have as phenomenal a school year as your students.
We will be praying for you, teachers, all over the world. Be a Mr. Holland.
And until next time, I'm Kristen.
And I'm Randy. Let's go back to school.
We're signing off from the Cross and Kin living room. Hopefully we will be back in the garage soon. Bye.
See ya.